DJ Fluker, 6'5", 340 pounds, and he's the.
All right, John K Podcast, and what we're doing tonight is a special edition. We are going live with the Baltimore Ravens against the New England Patriots. I'm going to kill the play-by-play here a little bit in the background. Very professional way to do a podcast with noise in the background. So, it is 7, all tied up here, and Baltimore has the football. 8:38 left to go in the second quarter. And we've already seen just how good Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson are early on in this game. The things that they bring to the table on full display as the Ravens have it 1st and 10 from their own 46. Here is a run right by Mark Ingram. And one thing that both of these teams have in common is they have a commitment to the run game. They will run it. The ratio is going to be on point, and particularly Baltimore, who runs it more than anybody, which is a byproduct of Lamar Jackson, who is a terrific running quarterback and a guy that, and I have proof of this, a guy that I thought was the only franchise quarterback to come out in the 2017 draft, I believe it was. Yes, 2017, I believe. It was the draft with Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield that Jackson was in. And all of those guys went ahead of him, of course. Mayfield went first. I believe Darnold went 6th. Rosen went 12th. And I believe that Jackson went 31st, if I'm not mistaken. So Jackson has completed a pass to Gus Edwards, which has taken the Ravens to the New England 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Jackson play fake, little out route there, flare out there to the fullback. Flag on the play thrown by the tackle. This usually is indicative of a face mask. And if that is the call, it is actually a lowering of the helmet in order to initiate contact penalty, but 15 yards, automatic first down. They're at the 20 or the 18, which is where the play was blown dead. So they'll go half the distance on that. And it's tough for these guys, man. But, you know, and it's tough for these guys. And when I say tough, it's hard for the lowering the helmet thing. So many times it's instinctual. But, you know, they tell you, you know, keep your head up, swing your arms, and look at your work. Is the proper way to tackle. But, boy, I tell you what, man, you're juiced up and you're out there, man. You're running full speed. Sometimes that's the inclination. Here is Jackson in the pocket looking for Hollywood Brown. Overthrew him just a little bit. Quick play action. Set up and throw. And, you know, it's been my experience and what I've seen that on those quick play actions, you really got to get that thing out quick, because at the point of the deception is when the receiver will either A, be the most open, or B, have his best chance to really create that separation by turning on the jets. So 2nd and goal here for the Ravens. 6:27 left to go in the first half. Here's Jackson on the boot. Swings it out to Hill. Picks up about 4. So it's going to be 3rd and goal right about the 5-yard line for the Ravens. And there you see Bill Belichick's son looking very Mark Davis-esque with that haircut he's got going. He's the linebackers coach for the Patriots. I think his name is Nunzio Belichick. I could be wrong on that. Could be wrong. But we'll go with that. 5:49 to go and ticking. 3rd and goal for the Ravens. at the 6-yard line. Jackson's facing some pressure, throws. Let's see if they're going to give him a touchdown. No, incomplete. Looking for his tight end, Andrews, but there's penalty marking down. And we've got a holding on the offense, which the Patriots will decline. Brings up a 4th and goal here from the 6. Baltimore will send on the field goal unit. Almost a torrential downpour here in New England with a 14-mile-an-hour wind and a front coming in from the west. And the best kicker in the game lining up for a 24-yard field goal, which obviously Tucker could kick that in his sleep. Bangs it through, 10-7, Baltimore over New England. 5:32 in the second. And you look at both Baltimore and New England. By and large, for the most part, New England has been in very, very close games, unable to close them out, and they're 3-5. Baltimore has lost to Pittsburgh and Kansas City. If the season ended today, that they would be your 1 and 2 seeds in the AFC. Both pretty close games, reasonably close, and you know those things have a way of changing when you get to the playoffs. These guys, man, these NFL cats, so close in terms of ability. They all work hard, you know, and so when you talk about teams that are really, really, really good, the differences are very, very small and are really, you know, so small that it's only on the day of the game, you know, that you actually get a chance to see that. You know, it's the old, you know, whoever plays better on that day wins kind of a thing. So, you know, I expect Baltimore to be in the mix in the AFC. I also expect the Patriots to make some sort of playoff push. You would think that from the way things are lining up right now, that it's going to be hard for them to get in, competing with, you know, Cleveland, Baltimore, you know, the Raiders, you know, trying to get that. And even the Dolphins are playing really well as well. You know, it's going to be hard for the Patriots to try to get that spot because they've got teams that are in front of them and that are in front of them by, you know, 3-4 games that are going to end up wild card teams. So while I expect them to make a push, it's just going to be tough because, like I said, you've got Miami playing well. You've got Las Vegas playing well. You've got that jumbled grouping there in the north, you know, with the Ravens and Steelers and Browns. And the Steelers obviously having a somewhat substantial lead in terms of games and a victory in hand over the Ravens. So as it sits right now, you would see your, you know, division winners as the Steelers, Chiefs, Bills, and coming down to the Titans and Colts. And again, you can't leave the second place team out of that. So it's going to be tough for New England to make a push. I think they will finish much more respectably than, you know, most people do. And that could be 9-7, you know, and if you're going to go 9-7 from here on out, you're talking about going 6-2, which is, you know, that's winning 75% of your games in the NFL, which is just not easy to do. Schedule is not kind to them, being a first-place team coming off of last year. You know, they're going to face a real rugged go of it down the stretch. But again, you know, with Cam Newton and that defense and their commitment to the run game and Belichick, you would think they're going to stand up and be counted, you know, in this. And so 10-7 is the score here, 4:39 and ticking in the second quarter. Ravens on top. Patriots have the football, 3rd and 2. From their own 33. Newton's in the gun slot, right, backs split, motions the Z receiver to tight slot. Newton standing, looking, sets up a screen to White. The Ravens have it pretty well sniffed out, but White surges ahead, first down. And again, this really kind of underscores just these great athletes, you know, in the NFL. You know, it looked like Big 71 had that one sniffed out. You know, 91 for the Ravens also in the vicinity coming over there, and White able to scurry for the first down. So here they are in I mirror, Newton under center. Here is the give. And again, right up in that 3-hole there. I'm sorry, 2-hole there to the right is Harris. Picks up about 12. And as I said, you know, these teams have a commitment to the running game. Good block by the tight end on the strong safety over there on that right side. Very nice. Got into him, engaged him, and got a hat on him. So 1st and 10 for the Patriots from midfield at the 50. 2:56 and ticking in this one. Here's Cam on the give and surging ahead to the Patriots 46. I'm sorry, the Ravens 46 is number 37 for the Patriots. I mean, these cats, man, their commitment to the run game. And I know, you know, that they're up north and the Northeast and they have to, but it's still, you know, that's a physical undertaking. So 2nd and 5 for the Pats, just inside the Baltimore 46. Here's Newton again on the give. And it looks like Harris is going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So we're at the 2-minute warning. It's going to be 3rd and about 5. And, you know, this is a game in terms of the score and the nature of it and the commitment to the running game that looks to be heading to a pretty tight finish. Also, it looks to finish on time in the allotted 3-hour block that they have for NFL games with all of the passing. You know, the games have had a tendency to run long, but with the way that these teams are very deliberate and very disciplined to run the football, you can almost count on them to finish on time unless the thing goes to overtime. There are so many times when people see a matchup in the NFL, and I'm not talking about tonight's matchup, okay, but there are times that you'll see a matchup and think, well, you know, neither one of these teams are very good. They don't have good records. They're not going anywhere. You still don't want to miss it because there are amazing things that will happen in that game. I mean, it's the NFL. All right. Imagine taking the top 32 teams in college, letting them draft in an inverted lottery of the remaining players from the other 81. And that's what you go with. It's the NFL is real, man. And you've got the hash mark thing where the hash marks matter in college. They don't in the NFL because in the NFL, obviously, they're closer together. And the athletic ability and speed at which these NFL guys play the game. And it's not just being able to run speed. It's being confident in what you're doing and making the right steps, when you do take off. It really kind of brings it into focus. So no such thing as a bad NFL game. Here to Pats, 3rd and 4. Newton's in the gun. Got trips right, tight. ISO left, far, back on the left. And here is Cam swinging it out. Let's see the spot. And it looks like they are going to spot him just beyond the sticks for a first down. Looked like a short spot initially by the official, but now it looks like they're going to give New England the first. That's close, man. That is close. That is close. They're going to give it to him to keep it going. 1st and 10. Baltimore 41. Toss left. Got some blocking. Here is Harris. Picks up a first down. That's a wide side setup, which helps a little bit. But as I said before, the hash marks are close together. But you can see left tackle catches out, fullback catches out. They're all looking to catch out and kick. On the cutback, the fullback busts up inside to pin his guy. Harris reads it and runs it beautifully. Very nice. You got the kick and the pin right there, man. Good stuff on that student body left. And again, the Patriots stay committed to the run game, pick up about 6. And that's, if you're going to be committed to it, your guys have got to get a hat on somebody up front. And you've got to have guys that play the fullback and the tight end position that can block it. It's a must. You can't have, fucking hybrids running around out there that can't block, because when you say hybrid, you mean a guy that's too small to play one position. You have these pass catching tight ends and, West Coast fullbacks that can run it and catch, but blocking's not their thing. Same thing with the tight ends. You've got to have a tendency towards, guys that can block, in your system if you're going to be really committed to that run game. You've got to have that. You just have to. And, both of these teams definitely have that. Such a beautiful chess game, with these NFL outfits. John Harbaugh, obviously an excellent coach, as is Coach Belichick. And it's just so fascinating to watch, because you can speculate like all you want in terms of what's going on during the game. But the fact of the matter is, these guys spent 80 to 100 hours this week, the coaching staff's working on this. And I tell you, man, they are trying to do what they do and are comfortable doing. And, they're also looking at, anticipating the response. And, make no mistake about it, when you run a particular play, you're running it obviously for the merits of that play, but you're also running it to set up other things. And the only way that running a particular play sets up other things is if you run it successfully. Your play fakes work better when you're running the ball. If you can't run it at all and you play fake, your outside guys, your defensive ends, and your rushers are just going to ignore that fake and come straight to the quarterback. And that's why, You talk about running a play and drawing it up to score a touchdown, which all coaches do, but also, as I said, what you're looking for is what that play sets up, hence the chess game, that kind of thing. If you're able to consistently make plays in the middle of the field in the pass game, you're going to be able to throw outside as well. It's going to open it up. So here we go, 2nd and 6. And the Patriots have a trick play going. Throw to the receiver. He's looking for Burkhead. Touchdown. What a throw by 16 Myers. What a great throw in the rain. Very nice. Very nice. What a great throw. And boy, you got to give Burkhead a ton of credit for staying with it. Wow. That is good stuff. Good stuff. He sets, he throws, he plants. Perfect mechanics by 16. Burkhead stays with it. The coverage wasn't bad, but Queen turned his head a little bit, and it caused him naturally to slow up once he turned to try to find the football, which is the right thing to do. But Burkhead stayed with it. What a great throw and catch. What a great call by the Patriots on that. Very nice. Here's the EP. And he misses the EP. Holy mackerel. You don't see that. Boy, Myers hopped a little bit on that, but boy, the setup was good. And the bottom line is he sticks that thing right where he needs to stick it, over Queen, none of the guy coming up over top. Wow, what a throw by Myers in the rain. Nice job. Very well done. And Burkhead, being a football player, Plano, Texas, by the way, Nebraska, staying with it and coming under it and making the catch. Very nice. Very nice, man. Burkhead's an underrated cat. He really is. Underrated running back, man. Been around for a little bit and been getting it done. Very solid, man. Running between the tackles. Obviously, he can catch. Nice job. And that's the consistent philosophy that you have with both of these teams. It's about team. The Patriots draft guys that fit things that they're trying to do, specific abilities. And the Ravens are, dating back to Ozzie Newsome, just draft good football players. Don't try to hit home runs, as John Harbaugh said. Just want to put the ball in play, want to hit it hard. And it served them well because they are an excellent franchise. And you can see teams draft well when they lose starters and they still are able to compete. That means their depth is good. And they drafted the right guys. Some teams lose starters and that's it. They're done. What you want to have, ideally is, the veteran starting at a position or the young veteran starting at the position and a rookie or a second-year guy backing him up on that rookie contract and showing some promise, as you kind of creep up on the veteran, coming into his second contract, and the Steelers are real good at that too. A guy gets to a second contract and they've got a guy behind him pushing him, a young cat, not making anything yet. And so it's like, okay, well, we've got a guy behind you. We're not going to overpay you. And for the player, look, that's fine. The player should get as much money as he can. I'm never against a player getting as much money as he can, man. You put your body on the line playing this game, and you got to get what you can out of it. And people think it's selfish, and it's not. It's about paying it forward. Some of these guys, a lot of these guys come from pretty rough backgrounds. And for them to say, look, I'm going to sacrifice my body and make as much as I can, because I've got descendants to think of. You know, I don't want them to go through, you know, the shit that I had to. You know, I want them to have more options as opposed to putting their body on the line, which is crazy if you love the game, but it's really not, man. It's understandable. You know, it's totally understandable. You know, if I made a living in the NFL or whatever and had a good setup for my sons, you know, I would want them to have the option to take a desk job, you know, or do something a little bit less hazardous or, you know, debilitating to the body than playing the game of football. As much as I love it. Now, if they said, you know, Pop, I just want to play, I love the game. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to argue with that. It is a great game, but you're talking about guys in the NFL, man, that this represents the best option for them. Not that there's not any secondary options, but this option is so much better and more realistic because of their talent than a secondary option that they have to take it. You know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You have to take it. And the least that you can get out of it is, hey, man, I have set my kids, my grandkids, great-grandkids up by going out and getting this money. And I need as big of a stack of it as I can get, you know, because, yeah, you know, it's about me, but it's about my family. And people hear this and say, oh, well, you know, a guy says he can't feed his family on 12 million and he needs 15. We're talking about his family in perpetuity, man. If you can set that up and make that happen, all right, you're going to do it. Okay. If you can set it up for family members that you're never going to meet, you're going to do it. You know, you're just going to do it. And, you know, that extra couple of mil, even after the government takes their 40%, you know, is going to be there to help your people. And again, that's this life, man. You know, this life is about paying it forward. That's what it's about. It's about the relationships that you have with people, man. It's about helping your fellow man, you know. And, you know, number one, over anybody is going to be family. And so I don't care who the player is or what their background is, all right? As a player, your talent and your body is a commodity. And you owe it to yourself to trade that commodity at the highest rate possible. And that's the inflatable screen we secure. I didn't play professional football. I played semi-pro, and I've got the wear and tear to show from it, you know, in terms of the injuries and so forth. It's nowhere near the level of pro football. So, you know, knowing that pain, at least on a lower level, you know, I can imagine it intensified, and you know, wanting to give yourself that cushion. So I don't blame these guys. Coming to the end of the first half here, man. 13-10 New England over Baltimore. We are going to take you through the first half, man, and let you watch it on your own and analyze. Johnny Cain podcast, live from South Uptown, Dallas, Texas. And we are watching the first half of the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. 20 seconds to go. Ravens got it 1st and 10. Patriots 46. Here's Jackson, little flare out to Hollywood Brown. 14 seconds left to go. 2nd down. Looks like they are working it to get into range for the great Justin Tucker, University of Texas. Best kicker in the game. Bang out a field goal here if they can. So you're thinking one more play, and they're going to trap a field goal team out there. They got one timeout. They're going to see what they can get. I'm expecting a threatening and an inside release here. And they do go up top, and this one looks like it's going to be picked off. Wow. Jackson with the pick. Nice. The Patriots have a great defense, man. It is one of the very best. One of the very best. And Jackson is a rookie, leading the league in picks, it looks like, man. Good, great coverage. Just had him shadow ball, you man. And that saves the Patriots points. J.C. Jackson. Look at this guy, man. Stepping up and making plays. The Patriots look like they have another good one. Undrafted, playing left freaking corner. 5 straight games with a pick. Unbelievable. That's going to end the half. And 13-10, New England over Baltimore. Sunday Night Football. Patriots get the ball to start. Good first half. Still anybody's ball game. Patriots defense stepping up. Johnny Cain Podcast. We will see you next time.